So there's a particular quality within the individual, right? But if we don't keep our system updated, we'll end up just like that paper towel because of the cheap material that it's made out of. The longevity of our use will be minimal.
The B2S podcast is brought to you by Motivated Apparel. Motivated Apparel, the premier gear for motivation. A brand that motivates, inspires, and empowers you to stay motivated while chasing your dreams. Head on over to www.shiftmotivations.com/shop Motivated Apparel and grab yourself some Motivated Apparel today.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blueprint to Success podcast. We're excited for you guys to be joined with us on tonight. Once again, y'all know what it is. Blueprint Nation, stand up. It's your boy Mike Marinette, a.k.a. the Chef Motivator. And once again, live in 2025. Y'all know who this guy is, man. On my left, your right. Mr. Dumbo, Mr. Lions Dead. Mr. Going live in 2025. Got some new music coming down. Y'all, what's happening? Y'all give it up for my brother from another mother, man. Yeah. Give it up for Alexander. It was cracking lagging, baby.
1,000%.
We slide through the week, man. You know how that go.
Hump day.
Chilling, man.
Yeah.
We ain't here, we chilling. We just doing what we gotta do.
Make it do what it do, baby. You know.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up, man. Y'all know we like to get live and have some fun, man.
Oh, yes.
Y'all know what it is, man. My brother from the same mother, man. Mm-hmm. Yes, Mr. Big Bag. Big Dub.
All day.
Mr. I got it.
One time.
Mr. If I ain't got it, I can go get it.
It's 25.
Mr. 25.
Double up.
All the way live.
Run it up.
Down to double up.
1,000%.
Y'all give it up for Boy Wonder, man.
What's going on? Blueprint Nation.
What the happening?
Yo, man. God. That's what's happening.
Another day.
Another day, man. Just enjoying my window of being able to plan, prep, and execute. So I'm just fresh breath of air, man. You know, what? That 8 a.m. to 12 a.m., that ain't the business. Man, it's like I am free. But it just feels good to be able to rest.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? It's a different type of rest. Still productive, but still be able to like just really take in and enjoy the moment and rest.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah. Rest is important.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And man, the amount of things I could get done and to be able to execute and then still have my time to just really, and then it's like it really increases my time with the Lord too, so I really love that. Mm-hmm. So it's been really good, man. Mm-hmm. It's just eye-opening, life-changing, growing, being more aware of certain things, picking up on certain things a lot quicker. So it's been good. Mm-hmm. Just staying in the presence of the Lord and just working the vision.
This was up.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just waiting school. That's it. As my dog say, trucking through the week.
Yo, man, we sliding through now, man.
Yeah.
We sliding through now, bro. I'm sorry, we sliding.
Screw.
Yeah, I'm scurrying on people now. Bump that. I'm scurrying now. Bump that, bro.
It's time to slide.
It's time to slide, bro.
Slippity slide, slippity slide.
Yeah, man. Well, once again, Happy New Year, Blueprint Nation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, prayerfully, y'all had a great and exciting New Year and got some great things ahead of you. So I'm excited about the New Year, man. You know, you see you like getting rest. So I've been getting a little rest myself, a little bit here, a little bit there. And you know, things about to get cranked back up, you know, especially with my outside activities and stuff with the kids and the sports and stuff. So looking forward to that, man. Looking forward to see how the year gonna final. We actually we had a meeting last night, so got the football banquet coming up next month. So I know it's a little bit later than normal, but coach had a lot going on, so he wanted to take his time with it, make sure it got done right, because you know some things that transpired before he took over last year. That he wanted to make sure that we, you know what I'm saying, kind of even make up for that, because some things weren't done properly. So you want to make sure, you know, send these seniors off properly and implement some new stuff. So looking forward to it, yeah.
I appreciate the heart that these boys have when it comes to you and Coach.
Yeah.
Just to be able to look after them like you do and create a culture of love and respect and integrity. That's important.
Yeah, I love it, man. It ain't too many, because I'm circulated, so it ain't too many places where I don't go where, you know, that love isn't reciprocated. So, you know, so that's what I was telling my homie last night. We was on the phone, hadn't talked to him in a while, man. We was just catching up, man. And I just letting him know he had asked me something and kind of led into that. So I was like, it's like, bro, like usually, like if they see me before I see them, they already in my face. So it's like, you know, it makes it that much more. So I got some things I'm, you know, finally, you know, kind of want to put into effect this year. And so once we get all that stuff going, then we'll go ahead and make some announcements and promos and stuff like that. But, you know, for the most part, man, we just got here doing what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to make a difference, man, and spread the love of Jesus around. And you know, like what I say, you know, you can live life by design or you can live life by default. The choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't always have a good hand, but it ain't time to throw your hand in. You still got to play the game.
Exactly.
So
Everybody's hands tailor made.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just you gotta deal with the cards that you dealt. You know what I'm saying? And turn it into a beautiful masterpiece. The choice is yours. You can wallow in what you ain't got, or you can find out a way how to get it. Yeah.
And it's like if you realize that the cards you've been dealt is to help to shape and mold you in the best version of you, not to harm you, but to also enlighten you in the sense of things that you wouldn't be enlightened about if you haven't went through whatever you went through, and that's important.
Yeah.
We got to have some type of adversity to know what we're capable of through Him, and so I think that's a key element if we can really just sit back and look at the whole entire picture or versus why me. You know what I mean? So just move with authority. Just move with those that, you know, if you got your tribe, you know what I'm saying, move close with them, move silently, figure it out. They'll help you figure it out. That's the importance of mentors.
Yeah. And it's funny you said it because I was sharing that. I was like, man, it's like you got to realize, like, if I'm talking to, let's say an 18-year-old young man, I'm 46. You know what I'm saying? That's 28 years of a gap that I've been on this earth longer than you.
Yeah.
So if you take to heart the information that's being given that can set you up, by the time you're 46, you should be way miles ahead at 46 than where I was at 46.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about that. If you're talking to somebody, let's just say even if somebody's the same age as you, but their business experience, their career level of success experience is is longer than yours. Just imagine where you could be if you take some of the tidbits and make it your own, and then be able to go into the next level of your success. You'll be a whole farther lot long. You know what I'm saying?
Telling you.
So that's why it's so important, man. It kind of spins out into what we're talking about tonight. It's just being relevant in the time that you're in. So, and I think what happens is a lot of times is, especially when I look at the culture today, and when you're talking about relevance, it ain't about how I want to say this. It's not about leaving the point of the information that you're giving me is let me do this. We're gonna come from two different places tonight, or maybe even 3 or 4 by the time we get done, because it can kind of vacillate a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so it's when you're talking about information being given, and we say it's outdated, or we say it no longer serves the purpose that I'm in right now, or it doesn't no longer serves me in the moment. Sometimes we have to be careful with that, and the old saying, like, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, because there's a lot of things that mom and our grandparents have taught us that may be outdated, but the foundation of it isn't. The foundation of the principles and things that were set in motion from the information that they bounced the information off of. So we kind of got to be careful when we're saying, oh, that doesn't work in this day and time. So you really got to cipher it out and understand, like, the information that you receive. So, but once again, that's just one facet of it. But at the same time, we want to make sure, like one of y'all said something on the last podcast about the drive and updating the drive. I think it was Alexander.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like we update our phones, cars, houses. We update all this external stuff, but then we'll walk around with an outdated mindset. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like 2025, it's a new me. No, if my habits ain't changed, it ain't feel like this quotes like I have posted on social media. If your mindset don't change, it ain't a new year. It's just another year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or new year, old me still, because you still got the outdated mind.
He said 3-year-old me, he's stupid.
It's real.
He's stupid.
Yeah, it's like, and maybe I throw this out there to kind of open up, because I'm gonna open up, because it's like, what is it that makes, I guess, what makes the world go around in a sense, but like, what makes it so much that an individual could stay stuck in an old mindset like that, the way it keeps them stagnant from progressing and moving? Because it happens all the time. It happens every day.
Yeah.
We run into people like that every day, but yet they say they want certain stuff, but yet don't make the progression towards the things that they say they want.
I could say this, bro. Let's say you want to make a meal, right? And there's different ingredients you have to get. You say you want to cook, you want to learn how to cook, but you say it over and over. Unless you go and get those ingredients and at least bring them into the home, in the kitchen, to where they could be in your vicinity, it will never happen. Even with the mentor that's teaching you how to cook, are you willing to pay attention and learn? Are you? And on top of that, I like where you're going with it, because it's quite a few things. It's a recipe of bad habits. It's a recipe of fear. There's a recipe of doubt, uncertainty, the unknown. And if I'm comfortable in what I'm comfortable with, I don't see the need to even new me, do this, because I feel like I'm fine. I don't feel like I'm outdated, because it's working for me. And then if they don't have the respect of what's working for an individual, and they don't see a value in it, they're not gonna. It's just coming in with the same thing, same mindset. And it's like, well, my friends are doing it, I'm good. You know, I got people who with me still here in the same level. They ain't elevating. I ain't by myself. I'm good. But there has to be an urgency and a want and an understanding that, okay, if I don't change my mindset, I'm going to be 60, 65 years old and have nothing to show for it. And it doesn't have to be from a financial, perspective. So there's a recipe that you can whip up if you set yourself up for success, or to be around the right people. So if you go into the kitchen and you need Lara seasoning, you need, if you're doing chicken, if you need pepper, if you need a little salt, if you need Also with different meals, if you're doing greens, if you're doing yams or whatever, if you're doing a whole entire meal, there's certain ingredients that you have to make that come to fruition, and it has to have flavor. What type of flavor are you putting in your life? Because if you got an outdated mindset, I don't think that tastes so good. I don't think that has the right season or the right flavor in your life to where it can be even a little spicy. You know what I'm saying? Exciting, just something that you want to do, adventurous. But if you don't see the value in that, you won't see a reason to move without an outdated mindset. You don't look for new because you're content with the old. And I don't think anybody content with stale. Staleness is stale chips. You spit that thing out quick in a heartbeat. It's no different than with life. You know what I'm saying? If you want life to taste good, you have to be willing to go to the store, get your ingredients, and do what is necessary, and listen to the mentor, the cook, so you can meal prep the purpose for your life.
I like that. What say ye, sir?
No, but
There's nothing worse than an outdated mindset. Boy, it drive me crazy. I can
Yeah.
pick it out in a minute, like a millisecond.
see,
Like,
but one thing I learned about outdates, because I deal with outdates a lot at work. So one thing that I learned about outdates is that everything has an outdate. Like everything has a purpose. Everything was made, it was intended for something. You know what I'm saying? So one thing that I realized about product and outdate is that the product is just going to do what it's going to do.
You started questioning me. Do your thing. You started questioning me. Do your thing.
Like the product is just going to do what it's going to do. Like when it's made, in a certain amount, the product was made to do or to perform in a certain amount of time.
see, boy, you were going right where I was going. Go ahead.
Right. So
That's exactly what I was
after that time, it starts to slip away. The product, whatever intensity, whatever quality that the product has, is going to start to diminish. Here is the thing. The product is not going to say, hey, I'm expired. I'm outdated. Someone else runs across that and say, hey, this is outdated. So if something is going on with you, 9 times out of 10, somebody is going to pick up on that defect and say, hey, this is off. Okay, this is off, right? The product is not going to say, hey, I'm outdated. That's not his job. His job was made to perform and do whatever is put in the sent there. So I think that people got to understand that people got to understand that when you start the defect and people start to be like, hey, this is off, you need to take heed to that.
Yeah.
You're outdating, you're spoiling, you're not performing properly, your quality is diminishing really quick, really fast. Like back here, you was good, but the longer you don't deal with whatever, the longer we don't take this off the shelf and do something about it, then when it's time to come back to the shelf to get this, it's gonna be a problem every single time. So I think people have to understand that. You know what I'm saying? But that's one thing I noticed though. The product is gonna do what it's gonna do. Not every time someone always comes and, hey, this is outdated. You talked about stuff being stale.
Yeah.
Bro, look, when you got fresh bread go on. Now look, fresh bread may go on bologna and cheese. Fresh bread may go on fried Spam. Fresh bread may go on hot dogs and chili. Fresh bread may go on peanut butter and jelly. But when the crap gets stale, 9 times out of 10, people toss it out, let the birds eat it. Crumble up and toss it out. They use it different. When you outdate, you get used differently.
Come on, bro.
When you outdate, you get handled differently.
Boy, you know, hit another nerve.
Right? So like when you And here's the thing: when you outdate, depending on who's handling you, is how they treat it.
Yeah.
Oh man, because when you outdate, you're diminished. But some people don't treat the outdate as diminished.
Ooh.
This person might take the stale bread and crumble it and throw it outside to the doggone squirrels and the ravens or the doves or whatever. This person might take this old bread and take it to the shelter where they can use it. This person might take the old bread and put it in breadcrumbs. Depends on who. But guess what? Here's the thing: when you outdate, now you're leaving your outcome and how you being used to somebody else. Because if you fresh bread, most people use fresh bread the correct way. They just switch up what they use it with.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So when you start to outdate, then people start to use you according to what quality that you are.
Come on, bro. You already in my head.
Bro, well, you said a mouthful. I like how you said that basically the potency and the quality of the product is contingent upon the time and the frame in which it's used in, because that's very important. Because it's one thing, and Doug talked about this in the last segment, about the sense of urgency, like taking the 2025 and just like moving with a sense of urgency, because when we buy the product has an expiration date on it. Now, depending upon the product, it may not expire at the time of the expiration date.
Exactly.
Depending upon the product and
Yep.
what it is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So what happens is,
Come on, bro.
even though there's an expiration date labeled on the product determines the use and the longevity of it itself. But guess what? That's up to the maker because of the ingredients, which is what Doug was talking about, because of the ingredients that's actually put in that particular product, right? So let's just say, take iron. And I was looking at this the other day because we just kind of bought some stuff for the bathroom. So we bought one of those chrome paper towel holders going to the bathroom, right? So we're switching it up. So it's just not equating it to food. So, but I noticed looking at it the other day because we hadn't like changed everything out per se yet. So there's rust on the bottom of it. So because of the material that is used in that particular paper towel holder, the longevity of it is minute. But guess what? It doesn't have an expiration date on it.
Nope.
But the quality of the material that it's made by isn't meant for it to last. Because had it been, it wouldn't have rusted out. Right? So where am I going with this? So there's a particular quality within the individual, right? But if we don't keep our system updated, we'll end up just like that paper towel holder.
Yeah.
Because of the cheap material that it's made out of, the longevity of our use will be minimal. So what happens is that cuts into the success of the individual. And then it goes back to a little bit even what Alexander was talking about. Now you're being misused, mishandled, thrown away because you're not seen as valuable. So that's why it's very important that we stay updated. Like we update, like I was looking up while you talking, like firmware. Like even with our phones, like there comes a certain point in time where you can bypass the update. But when it comes to a certain point, you can't bypass the update. It forces you to update it.
Yep.
But we don't do that with our own mindset. Like we'll stay stuck in yesteryear, expecting tomorrow's miracles and blessings to fall. But yet we're operating from an outdated mindset continuously. It can't happen. We cannot do that coming in 2025. You know what I'm saying? It's man, when I even look at like milk, depending upon how cold your refrigerator is, it can last past the expiration date.
Yeah.
So I feel, and I'm gonna let y'all come. I just feel like, as individuals, man, we have to make the best of our opportunities in them situations and our moments at every given moment that we have.
Yeah.
Because like I look at like me, I've been working out since I was in the 8th grade. So properly structuring my workouts will allow my body at an old age to perform at a certain level, right? Mm-hmm. But if I wait till my retirement age to start working out, I've limited the longevity of the use of my body. Because I was thinking about that. I was talking with an individual, and it's like, that's one thing I've been consistent in for years. Like I said, I've been working out since the 8th grade. Now, there's been time where I've taken time off to where I may have missed a week and may have missed a couple of weeks or something like that, because it's happened. But for the most part, in my earlier years, I was working out every day, you know, at some points. Majority of my tenure, it was at least 3 days. But there was sometimes I was working out. I just remember that when I was working with a group of guys, like we meet up after work, we go hit the gym, you know. And I believe that's going to take me a long way once I start getting into my older age. Because people, when they look at me now, when I tell them how old I am, they can't believe it. It's like, you know, first of all, it's God and me staying out the streets, number 2, and then me exercising. You know what I'm saying? So,
1,000%. We've seen it.
So then when you're looking at these updates, it's for the longevity of the product. And so if you want to be somebody that's, and I want y'all to hear me out because I want to say this in its right context, because everybody's valuable.
Yes.
Everybody's valuable.
Yep.
However, everybody's value is not as impactful as it could be because they're not walking into an updated version of themselves every day.
Because remember, what I said, if the bread is stale,
They use it differently.
It's used differently.
it's just that.
I like how you said that too.
Remember, like if you throw it outside, if you take some bread, crumble it up, throw it outside.
Or dressing. You maybe use as dressing.
A dressing, but then you see squirrels eating it. You see ants taking it and walking off with it. You know how they be doing. They be hijacking stuff. Then you might see a pigeon take some and fly off with it or whatever. You might see a cat come and get something. It's still being used.
Yeah.
But I'd rather me eat it with a piece of chicken than a cat eating it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? I'd rather be used differently than.
Yeah.
You look at this bread. I'm telling you, when it's all stale, it depends on the person who's holding it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, I don't want to leave how I'm viewed to you.
Exactly. Right.
Because if I leave how I'm viewed to you, you liable to you know, doggone well. I don't care if it's great value bread.
Right.
For real.
If it's fresh, this bread too high. I got $3. Let me get the great value. I'm getting the great value.
Great value at $1.35.
I'm gonna slide to the crib.
For real. Get 2 loaves for the price.
I got 2 loaves for less than 1.
I'm gonna slide to the crib and make these sandwiches. I'm not taking this fresh bread and throwing it outside.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
bro.
And when you realize, too, you know how there's a time also where with the updates, you'll get one update, and then maybe shortly after, it'll be like, well, I just updated the phone. You know what I'm saying? I think about the conversations we had when I was first getting into the industry and when I was with the first label I was with, and then the things I was dealing with and going through. Each time we talked, it left me encouraged with, okay, I ain't crazy. You know what I'm saying? That helps having someone to be like, oh, yeah, I understand software update. Yeah. Okay, cool. But if you be with somebody that leaves you with an encouraged mindset, you leave with another version better of yourself than what was before because of that conversation. Because the value increased now.
Yeah.
And so now when you learn that value and when you understand, oh snap, I may not be worth the amount you think I am, but I understand the value that I have on myself. And it's high. So even if you don't see me high, I see me high.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Bro, you striking a nerve because the last couple conversations I had, it was really a compliment.
Because
Oh man.
I was in 2 meetings, right?
Yeah.
And both, I was able to recognize the development of my mindset. Because in one situation, I'm seeing what you're seeing, but I'm seeing beyond what you're seeing, and it's your vision. It's your vision, but I'm seeing farther about your vision. And so I sat there and I was like, I said, okay. I'm just wired like this. Okay, I can't turn it off. I'm sorry. It's like bro say, it depends on whose hands it in. It's like, but when it comes to me, you put it in my hand, and if you're looking to go straight and narrow, I'm not your dude. But if you're looking like I'm the guy, because I can't turn it off. Yeah. And then so I'm in another meeting. I'm trying to explain. Okay, well, if we do it this way, then we need to do it this way because X, Y, Z. And the person stopped. But your mindset that's just different. And I say, well, yep, that's me. That's all it. So I can't operate in a place of like just staleness, outdatedness. I'm not going to put you in a position to use me any type of way that's unfavorable to me. So even if I'm put in a situation, and this is something I adapted from Pastor. So, cause like we used to like be like Pastor, man, they just using us, man, like they just using you, blah blah, cause you mild, you man, you got all this wisdom, you just do, you go, they call you go, they don't do this for us, like we were just going in, and then, but his thing was always that he'll say, well, they're not using me because I'm not being used. Y'all saying I'm being used. I'm being used by God. So I'm not being used because I don't look at myself as being used or taken advantage of. So you can only be used or taken advantage of if it comes from you and you saying, dang, I'm being used and taken advantage of. But if I never see it like that, I'm not being used or taken advantage of. And I'm like,
you ain't lying.
Dang, so no matter what we said and what we saw, his mindset and perspective was totally different. And so I kind of like, after being up under him for so long, it was like, I get it now. Like, you can think you're using me, but you're not using me. At the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, whatever transaction that's going on is going to go on regardless. So at the end of the day, in my mind, you may think you're using me, but you're not. I'm just using God's gift for this situation right now. Now, if I have to come back and say, you know what, next year, no, I can't do that, then that's my choice. But still, you ain't used me. I just recognize I'm not fit to go in that direction no more. Because now, guess what? That situation is outdated to me. Because I'm progressed past that situation. So it ain't the situation. I wasn't used. I'm just outdated past that situation right now. So once again, it's all about perspective. And so when I'm sitting there and I'm reading, and that's why it's very important to know who you are. And that's why I was talking with the homie last night. I said, bro, he asked me this question. He say, and I'm just gonna share this with y'all. You know, the ones that can handle it, and the ones that can't, then you know what? Because it's not meant for that. Because everybody tells things different. So he was like, bro, what's your goal for 2025? I said, bro, I ain't got none. He got quiet. I said, bro, I ain't got no goals, bro. I said, well, hold on, let me tell you the backstory. I said, because you got to know where I'm coming from. So I told him the backstory of everything. I said, bro, I know how to do that. I said, I live, eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff, bro. Personal development, spiritual development. I know how to do this stuff, bro. I said, where I am right now, I said, I believe God is trying to teach me how to next level my faith. Yep. And my faith has nothing to do with a vision board.
Nope.
I said, because I've had stuff that I've written down year after year after year, and I'm looking at this vision board, and I'm like, dang. And then I got to a point where I said, bro, I stopped doing the vision board. I said, because there's too many things on the last vision board that I don't see coming off, so I'm not going to start something new, so I'm just going to continue. That was just my mindset. I say, so I went to, and so once, by the time I got through telling him the backstory, he knew and he understood why. He said, bro, that makes sense. I said, yeah. I say, so for 2025, I just want God's vision to come. I said, now I'm going to be intentional about where I go, who I'm around, where I move. I said, but for me to just sit and say, hey, 2025, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No, because my life had proved to be otherwise. So when you're saying when God is in the driver's seat, and you really truly got God in the driver's seat, man's ideology has to go out the window. Because me knowing how to do a vision board ain't got nothing to do with God. Yes, he says write the vision and make it plain so that those who read it can run with it. But at the end of the day, where the vision come from? Is that God's vision or is that Myron Golden's vision? Is that God's vision or is that E.T. vision? Is that God's vision? So I had to separate myself because I told bro, I said, bro, I ain't listened to E.T. in a month. He said, ooh. I said, bro, because when I started going to a certain place, I said, my pastor gave me a word. I said, I had to reconsider some things. I said, because, dang, bro, that was good. Dang, bro, you sound like E.T. So now I'm listening to all this stuff, and then when pastor give me this word, it's like now that stuff comes to my forefront. So guess what I had to do? I had to disconnect myself from the voice that everybody that I said I was sounding like, because I was not intentionally doing that. I was not trying to mimic nobody. So it was like, he was like, dang, bro, I see what you, I said, yeah. I say, so the best thing a person can do, bro, is know who they are. I say, it sounds cliche, bro. I say, but when you know who you are, the dynamic changes everything.
It do.
It changes everything. I say, so I'm in a total makeover right now. I'm a walking reality show, total makeover right now. I had to give. So once I gave him the backstory, he understood why I said I don't have one, bro. And now it makes sense for me to say that without giving him my backstory. It would have made it seem like I was crazy. Well, that's what you're supposed to do. But when I'm right now in a place where I know my faith needs to go to the next level, because there's some things that God, because when you're operating by God, the Bible says that the just shall live by what? Faith. Mm-hmm. There's certain things faith and favor can get you that money can't. Mm-hmm. And so I just believe that that's the journey that I'm in this season. So me knowing how to do the stuff I know how to do ain't got nothing to do with what God taking me. And so I got to feel like that's what I got to focus in on. You know what I'm saying? Not leaving the other stuff behind because it's still a part of who I am. But the focus and intentionality is, okay, bro, how can I get you to believe for something that you ain't even got to pay for? That's where I'm trying to get you at. I know you can put it out. I know you can pay for it right now, but I don't want you to. I'm trying to teach you how to call things into your life by faith.
As though they already were. You
know what I'm saying? So it's just operating on that. I feel like that's why I am. So it's like it's like the old stuff that I used to operate by. My software is being updated. I can't use that no more. You know, when you go to Google, there's certain operation systems that unless you're at the latest version of Google, it won't work.
Yep.
You'll be getting outdated information because you're working on an outdated system. So people are out there making informed decisions on outdated information, and you wonder why you stuck where you at.
And they're being wasteful.
Yeah.
And this is how people are being wasteful. Because they've been feeding off of other outdated people. It's a whole bunch of food banks around here. You pull up, you got a whole bunch of food.
Yep.
I'm gonna say 70% of it is
outdated.
Is outdated. So you take some and toss out. You take some, toss out. Go to the next food bank next week. Take some, toss out. A whole bunch of food. Take some, toss out. Take some, toss out. You're used to tossing a whole bunch of stuff out. You're feeding off of outdated old stuff. That has become your diet. So when you run across good food, you're gonna eat half of it and toss it out because it used to being useful. Wasteful. You're used to taking something, brushing over it, chewing on a little bit of it, and tossing it out. You end up being wasteful over something that you need to be eating as nutritional in your life because of the pattern of you consuming outdated stuff, and you should not have been eating that stuff in the first place. Something has become your diet when it shouldn't have. What happened to Daniel? Daniel wasn't going for that. We not finna eat on that.
Right.
Because if I eat on that, I'm going to end up like y'all.
Right.
Moving like y'all and thinking like y'all, with a diet like y'all. We're not doing that. A lot of people got diets from years and years and years of feeding and eating off this stuff. Now you done became what you've been eating your whole life.
Yeah.
You became, now you're expired and wasteful. Because when something good come across, you're gonna chew on it. This don't taste like how this.
Right.
Now it's gone. Now you're internally expired and wasteful when you shouldn't be. So I think people gotta monitor what they eat. I'm telling you, bro, every time something is expired, it's tossed out. It's not kept around.
Right. Right.
And guess what?
Because it's no longer useful.
No, guess what?
Yeah.
If you got too much of something good, what you do? Zip lock it. You wrap it up.
Package it.
You try to preserve it as much as you can.
Right.
Because you know how valuable it is.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Right?
The B2S podcast is brought to you by No Grind, No Glory Apparel, R8 28 edition. It's a reminder to stay strong, to be courageous, to stop your fears, and to feed your faith. Even when it feels like everything is falling apart, just know that you were born to stand out and make an impact. Head over exclusively to www.nogrindnoglory.net and grab you some merch as a daily reminder that all things work together.
And I even put more context on what you just said with your backstory. How you're not focused on the goals. And I want to definitely make sure that it's clear on it, because it's like, you know how to move even when you don't move.
Dang, that's a bar. People don't realize how deep that is, what you said.
You know how to move
Even when I don't move.
even when you don't move.
Yes,
That's deep.
Yes, because because you have a certain discipline about yourself. So
And
even though
work
I ain't
ethic.
got no, I know I need to stay away from this. I know I need to work out. I understand time my budget. I know I need to read. I'm spending time with God. I know, but as far as others, I don't know. You gotta fill me in.
Because it's a difference.
It's a difference.
It's a difference. It's a different value system versus someone who's not driven, who's unambitious, who don't want to do nothing, who don't see value in anything. There's a distinction and a fine line between those two worlds, those two systems. And it's crazy. I want to say thank you to you too, bro, because
Who, me?
yeah,
Bro, you know what?
I'm gonna tell you why.
I ain't heard thank you in a long time, bro. I've been getting them crazy junk lately, so please tell me.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you why, bro. You put me on at the hospital, and because of your seed and your unselfishness, and to see where I was and knowing that I needed the extra, that placed me in spaces that even puts a higher value on me. And I'm gonna tell you how. I came in to take a patient a CAT scan. And you know, we just joking, teasing, and
Cats can't be wild.
yeah, it be jumping too. You got to get it. So
it's busy.
and I got quite a bit of compliments last night. Just hearing. One of the dude was like, as he was taking the leads off the patient, he was like, "Oh yeah, that's one of our best ones, one of our best transporters." But we barely even come across interaction, even from afar. But you say I'm one of the best ones. I pay attention to stuff like that. I said, man, for real? Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I go to CAT scan. It's like, dog, man, you wiped the board 2-3 times. And I'm talking about them doctors, like, they be trigger happy. Them things come out like boom, boom, boom. You only got 2 tables, and you got X amount of patients, and you got to get them in and out. Some have 2 to 5 minute scans, some have 10 to 15. It was so chaotic. There was 2 stroke alerts, and then there was like 3 or 4 patients outside. And I had came in, and I was just like, certain person told me about what was going on. I said, okay, send me a text. It's a crap show. It's crazy. I was like, all right, cool. I know how to handle it. You move different when you understand your value in the system that you're placed in, because you know how to handle what's in front of you. And I didn't fret. I didn't go crazy. So I was talking to them. They was like, after she told me about that, and they was like, yeah, what is so-and-so doing? I was like, what do you mean? So I'm not getting another version of the story of what was going on, because you have to make sure that you do not lack in whatever you're doing, because it's going to come back to you, and you got to be forthcoming, and you got to move with integrity. I found out some things that weren't true, because the same two that I told about, what that person told me, they were the same two that was in that spot. So it taught me to be careful too, because the same information that I got, if I wasn't careful and had my system updated in a manner, I wouldn't have been aware to catch that. And it could have made it easily sound like I'm talking about them. And I was just like, for real? Yeah. This ain't the reason why. This is the reason why. And I was just like, I can't trust this person again. If I had an outdated system, I could have easily went and been gullible. I could have been not aware. I could have just did anything illy-willy-nilly and been okay with what's given to me and just take whatever's coming my way. And that's what happens with the outdated mindset. But even when I talked with them and got things situated and got everything clear, she said, thank you. Another tech from the other two I was talking with, she said, thank you. It's like, you were moving. You were busting your butt. You was getting them out. And it's just like, bro, when you said how you see the vision farther than what the person sees me, bro, I feel like there's an explosion in the hospital with the great name that I've created within a short amount of time. That people I don't even know paying attention. Even hearing from the higher up, I'm talking about biggest bosses like, hey, such and such can't wait to meet you, because they hear a lot of good things about you. And that's because of you, bro.
Now, I told you, he had the job. He had the job before he had the job. She was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hire him. I'm just waiting on. She said, he's already hired. I'm just waiting on this now. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, oh my God, I love him. You know, Miss Tanya, she was like, oh my God, I love him. His voice, he does the voices. Oh my God. How'd you meet him?
That's her.
Is that your family? That's like she's all right.
Just like them.
You know what I'm saying? So she had the job. He was in there, bro, early in the game. She said, I'm calling him tonight.
And need I mind you, I'm in my own world. It's been a couple weeks. And I'm just like, all right, guys, if it's for me, I get it. If not,
Bro,
cool.
she was telling me every day, I'm just waiting. He's hired. Every day she was telling me every day, kid, no cap.
But it's true what you said, bro. Like, when you see it further than what people see you, I feel it, bro. I feel it. It's like a burst of energy. It's just like a atmosphere shift that you just feel that, and you're just grateful to God that you're willing to continue to update your system to advance.
Hold on.
Angels advocate.
No, but so on the flip side of that,
I love it.
no, but for real though. But back to what you were saying about how people see you, because that's important. Because people be lying, talking about, oh, I don't care about no. It is important how people see you to some extent.
Right.
Come on now, like, but you have to be mindful and careful that the right people, like some people, you can't. How they see you, their weight shouldn't hold that. Shouldn't be that heavy, because if you buy into how somebody see you all the time, you'll be jacked up, because so if the man thinks he is. So if I'm thinking how you think I am, I'm doing myself a huge injustice, right? But on the same aspect, if it's a bottle right here, I have this bottle and it's looking like this. You got the same bottle as me. We the same age, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I got 20/20 vision. Is it 20/20 or 40/40?
20/20.
I got 20/20 vision. You got 18/17 because you got a little cataract in your right eye.
Mm-hmm.
We got the same bottle, but with the same dents, the same amount of water and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But because of your condition that you have, you're not going to view it the same way as I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be distorted because of your
1000%.
condition. So when somebody has something that's going on with them and they don't see you a certain type of way, sometimes you have to fight past the offense because they got stuff that's going on internally within them that's allowing them. They can't see you the right. They can't treat you right now. They can't speak to you right now. They can't operate with you right at the moment right now because they got a defect right now.
Yeah.
So sometimes we can be so. You don't know. Sometimes people be having stuff going on to where they can't view and see you at the moment. They still got to be held accountable, but it's the stuff that's in there that's causing a defect to where they don't see and treat you and value you as they should. Now once the surgery get going, I can see a little better.
Yeah.
They see a little better because they had to do something to take care of the defect. That makes sense, right?
Oh yeah.
Just
good.
throwing it at the Blueprint Nation because sometimes we still gotta give people grace. We still gotta walk in our faith, and we still have to portray the attributes of Jesus. Sometimes pushing how we feel to the side and allow God to move through us when sometimes it's hard to.
Yeah, man.
Lord knows it get hard.
I'm just dropping it because some people, everybody have those times where we get a little cataract.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody,
Yeah.
I don't care. Everybody got a little cataract every now and then. You don't say something to the wife how normally you would say it, cause something going on. You know what I'm saying? You look cold to your coworker a little bit. You got something going on at home. Everybody have a little cataract every now and then. So everybody got
Yeah.
you know, you feel me?
I want to go back to piggyback off something Dub said. When you're talking about operating from an outdated mindset, right? An outdated mindset will put you in a situation where you will miss out on an opportunity because that opportunity was meant for a certain time.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, like the old saying says, sometimes you don't get a second time to make a first impression. Sometimes that is. So if one thing I love, I have to be careful because sometimes I can get frustrated when I'm because of how my mind works. Just like you, bro, my mind is so progressive. So if I go a long stint around and I'm not around something or somebody that stimulate my mind, it'll drive me crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. Like I'll be. I gotta do something. I have to, because even though I got the internet, but still, if I'm not around someone I can pick up and call, or be around physically that stimulates my mentality, bro, it'll drive me crazy. And that's why when a couple episodes ago, that's why I said, man, it's like I know in certain places my message have extended its welcome. It's expired. It's outdated because my drive is updated now. It's not saying that I can't go back. I can't go back to that space no more. That's not me. You should have called me while I was there. You know what I'm saying? It's not it's not an arrogant thing to say, but that's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why you catch ET now. It ain't 50,000 no more. It's 200. If you ain't paying attention, he ain't. You know what I'm saying? Because he's out of that space no more. And I'll use that as an example because I did watch him and his circle a lot. But when you look at it, I'm even watching. I don't know when the last time y'all actually watched him, but I think I just I listened to something like about a week or so ago, right? And I'm noticing changes. I feel, this is just my opinion, he's going to continue to be impactful, but he's handing the baton off.
Yeah.
Because he's moving the way I'm watching, like the way he move. It's differently. Even though he's like it's just I can just see certain things. You can just tell he's just like he transitioning too. You know what I'm saying? He in a transition too. So his organization is in a transition too. So it's like we have to make sure it's so vital and it's so important that you stay on point and get around people that will stretch you, that will update you, because just like that expiration date, sometimes that opportunity has an expiration date. Sometimes it circles back around, sometimes it don't. And so when you get caught up in the old mindset, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because I don't do it that way, or we don't fix it that way, or I didn't experience it that way. You got to be careful with that, because you just may miss out on the very opportunity that was supposed to set you up for the next dimension of your life. They're supposed to open. I always say, a lot of times it ain't that first door. It's the door behind that door that God is trying to get you to. But if you don't never take the opportunity and the chance to open up that first door because of what it looks like, it may be busted, raggedy, like an old haunted house door, but God is saying, go through that door. It's not that door that you need to be concerned about. It's the door that leads to another door. You know what I'm saying? You ever been to a house that don't look like much on the outside, but you walk in that joker, it be like, dang, where all this, it'll lay, because they put more value on what's inside than outside. I don't live on the outside. I live on the inside. So that's where I'm finna put all my money at, on the inside. Y'all can just look at it. Yeah, curb appeal. I don't care about that. I'm finna pump this money. And value system, what Dove said, man, it's all about value system, what you value. It's all, and it shows. Shows around the people that you hang around, shows around the people that you work with, shows around the people that you do business with, shows around your relationship with your spouse, your kids, all that stuff, bro. People will use you to the extent of your value, and you have to be aware of that. So that means you must know what your value is.
It's crazy what you said about curb appeal. People put more on the outside, how they move, how they look, how good they can be on time, how busy they can be, how they can speak. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff is curb appeal. How they, how nice people say they are, but when when it comes time to you being a tough situation, that's when that stuff get tested. The stuff that's on the inside of you get tested real quick. You know what I'm saying? Depends on how you really built yourself. You know what I mean? Like
you find out what you're made of.
You whatever's on the inside of you gets thrown out really quick.
Pastor Jeff used to say back in the day, well, when the devil put the squeeze on you, when that squeeze hit, we know what's coming out. Because what's in you gonna come out. He said, I squeeze toothpaste. I know toothpaste coming out. I squeeze you. I don't know what's gonna come out, but what's gonna come out means what's on this.
When that squeeze hit, man, you be like, oh Lord. I thought this was some other stuff.
You stub your toe, you gonna say it, or you gonna say, oh Jesus. But yeah, man, bro, it's crazy, because I just remember, I've been in houses that, bro, you pull up to that joker, bro, immaculate, nice, beautiful landscape, the court, the design. You walk into that joker, you be like, I don't know if you remember, bro, Junior, it was 1 year, because remember we used to do our family, like, after church, when the parade of homes used to come around. Those was our dream moments as a family. We would all just go from city to city and do the parade of homes, and then we all go out to eat afterwards, right? And we pulled up to this one huge house, bro, and they was asking, this was a long time ago, bro, and the house was $1 million. They was asking $1 million for the house. And bro, like I say, long driveway, the gate, everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? Outside, beautiful. Walked inside, I'm like, what? It was just a bunch of big rooms. There was no attention to detail. There was no like intrinsic design. It was just a bunch of big rooms. It was just a bunch of big space. You probably don't remember.
Nah, I don't remember this one.
I remember it very, very well. And it was a huge house. They was like 1.something million they was asking for the house. And I said, for what? It's just a big house. Like when I say it was just a bunch of big rooms, that was it. Like no attention to detail, nothing. They just made a big house with a bunch of big rooms, and that was it. I was like, man, I wouldn't pay $1 million for this. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be that individual. You don't want to be that individual that look like you got it all together. You know what I'm saying? But then there's no substance to you. People that grab the best and most opportunistic situations are people that have a lot of value. Yeah, you got some shysters out there, you got scams out there, they doing their thing, but I'm talking about the most impact, the high impact people or high value system people. Because most of the time, from what I've seen and experienced, them type of people, you can put them in any type of situation and they're going to flourish.
The most people who have the most,
you know what I'm saying?
The most people who have the most value are the ones who can get closest to the core.
Mm-hmm. That's facts.
Yo, I got a question, fellas. Okay, when you think about legacy, and you think about your future, you think about the generations, right? You look at if the legacy is not handled with care, it can be cut off. Because, you know, you want to leave a legacy for your children, right? I guess this is the best way I can ask this question, because when you think about $500,000 back in the day versus $500,000 today,
still a lot of money, but the value
it's still
is totally different.
Exactly.
Inflation was totally different. Yep.
So what do you think is the difference within that value system? Because let's say for the $1 million home, man, it's just straight big rooms. But then you got this $1 million home in our time of day, they got design. They have certain type of ceiling, certain type of tiles, certain type of staircases, certain type of, it's just a different, it's different.
What are you doing?
Because
Exactly.
I'm glad you said that, because it's just like,
He's stupid.
when you think about that, to our mindset, this is $1 million. We think that would be outdated. You know what I mean? But go ahead, brother.
Dude, angels, Abigail. The value is placed upon the position of the object. Because what you just said, in today's time, it's not that. It depends upon where you are.
Proximity,
1,000%.
location.
Because you can be in New York, Chicago, California. $1 million house is a shack. See what I'm saying?
True.
So
True.
I want to throw that out there because to answer that question is not a straight answer. Because what you described is not all $1 million houses.
Right.
It's only $1 million houses in certain areas. So to answer that properly, maybe Alexander could maybe shed some light on, but for me, because of the proximity of the values based on the object and where it's at, because yeah, we would think $1 million house will have the stairs, the hidden rooms, nice rooms, big rooms, detailed rooms. But once again, it's all in sort of speaking the eye of the beholder, because it's based upon the area that it's in. Because I mean, even like now today, depending upon the area that it's in, even in Florida, you may stumble across something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And
to add on to that, would that also be safe to say that it would also be upon the builder or the manufacturer because of how long it took them there with the time and what they invested in?
I would say, cause you said like the difference between the time and the value. So that proximity and location has that's 1/3 of it, right? So I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah, because it was in an area of town where all the houses back there was costly.
And I'm gonna say the needs and the wants of people. The needs and wants. If you're in a place where you just want something, then when people want something, they blow guap on what they want.
Yeah.
But what happens if you got what happens if you and your girl, y'all make 6 figures a year, and y'all want the type of, y'all got no kids, it's just y'all and the dog, and y'all want this type of lifestyle, y'all want this home, you're gonna pay that guap for it. But what happens if you got a family who got 7 people in their family? They need that space.
Yeah.
They need it. So what other requirements? Like, I know people who do real estate.
Yeah.
They flip houses, they renovate them. If you in an area to where there's no $1 million houses, you don't need to put that stuff in there. You put in there what's gonna sell for that location.
That proximity,
for that block or for that area. So the needs and the wants of people, I think that's because people want what they want, but they don't want what they need, man. They want what they want.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah.
But they don't want what they need. You need something completely different, but you want that. Okay. Okay, you don't need that. But you want it. You don't need that. You don't need that.
Talk to the people, say it.
You want an Apple computer. You want an Apple, but right now you need a laptop. Don't be trying to stretch yourself to get an Apple. Go ahead and grab that Toshiba, man. Go ahead and grab that thing.
Hey. Toshiba, HP, hold it down.
So the needs and wants of people.
Yeah.
The needs and the wants.
That's good.
That's a good answer.
What do the people need and what do they want? And where you at in your life? Where you at in your life? What do you need and what do you want?
Yeah,
That's good.
And then you always have people, and I'll say this, in addition to that, you always have people that are willing to challenge that status quo. Because just taking that and comparing it to life, so you basically got an individual that's well known for a certain type of house. You know what I'm saying? Because in that area where the house was, it was a certain builder, and they, the name of that. And I don't remember which one it was, but I remember the area. Yeah. And the builders in that area, they're nice homes. They're expensive homes. So when you have a certain individual or a person like that, so now that person is known for something. You know what I'm saying? So now they may be or have the ability to challenge themselves and stretch themselves because, like us sitting at this table and other people that are listening,
right?
I'm taking your vision, but I'm seeing even beyond your vision. So sometimes it takes that individual too, that even to challenge the status quo. But yeah, it may not be a $1 million house in this area, but I'm gonna put one. Just like with the housing market, you got $300,000 houses in the hood. So that house ain't worth no god dog on $300,000. But because of the market and the markup in the houses, now people are putting houses in places where normally that house wouldn't even qualify for that type of You know what I'm saying? So now it's kind of like that. That's why I say angel advocate in the sense, because it's like that mindset of that individual is challenging the status quo because now they become a forerunner of their industry. You know what I'm saying?
And I think about like different vintage stuff that become collectibles. You know what I'm saying? The price of the value go up over the length of what the value they see in the collectible. So that's what made me ask that, because it's like not trying to compare the two, but it's
Yeah, and then it can be a number of anything. It can be it could be greed. I'm just finna put this out here because somebody gonna buy it. It ain't cost me nothing because I ain't put nothing in it. Ain't with no detail. It's just a bunch of big rooms. You know what I'm saying? So
I did my job.
you know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful, man. We have to be careful and how we move. That's why it's important to keep you as an individual connected and updated. Number one, to the source. God is the source. You got to stay connected. What is He saying to you? You know what I'm saying? What is He saying through people to you? You know.
Hold on, Mike.
Uh-oh.
That's that coming from the house. You know what I'm saying? Coming straight from the house.
Cause you know I'm bro. I coming from the house. I'm RVing. That's too late. I'm in
Sled
RV.
up. He done sled up.
Go ahead, dog.
You said that you gotta stay connected with the source, which is God. Stay is continuous. A lot of people can't even get into the continuous place. They're not. They get connected. Get connected. If you don't have a church home, get planted. I'm not no pastor. I'm just saying. Place yourself somewhere that is going to help you grow your relationship. Repeat it. Place yourself somewhere that's going to help you grow and develop your relationship. Not your cousins, not your daddies, not your mom and them, not your uncle because he a pastor, or your nephew because he...
Mama, auntie, sister, grandma on the left side.
That stuff don't... Not, you know, like... Cause you can be in the church, and you can be doing the soundboard, playing the drums, you can be singing, you can be rapping, you can be doing all this stuff, but you really haven't been planted to cultivate your relationship with them. So you can't stay or continuously do something you ain't started. So for a lot of us, we need to start, like really strip down, and some of us got so much stuff on top of us, we can't even get there.
Bro,
we doing the things of it, but we can't really. It's stuff that I'm ripping off. Like, yo, God, like, yo, you need to cast your net deeper.
For real.
So it's things that I have to share. I'm like, no, you ain't good here. Shave that off. No, you ain't good here. Shit, I've been trying to get you doing this for years. I've been trying to. Don't you want to turn into? Okay, well, do cast your net deeper. Shave this off. Shave this off. You got a lot of work to do on you. You know what I'm saying? So.
You know what? Something just hit me while you said that. I think that's a challenge with some people's value system.
Ooh.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you don't value being impactful, you won't. Because a lot of people, it's like having limited access.
Yeah.
It's like having limited access because I'm thinking about certain situations, right? So it's like if the Bible says, you know, He prunes in order to bear more fruit. You know, in order if you want that flower, that plant to bloom, it could be looking nice. But in order to get the fullness of the growth and what it can have in its total capacity, you got to cut it back. I don't care how nice it looks. And so, of course, you got those ones that don't want to pull the layers back, but then you got those ones also that's, you know, they kind of comfortable in their own skin. But you also are limiting your access to the totality of who God has called you to be. Because when you get to the point where you don't want to touch places that God needs to touch, because the total impact of what you think you're having is not the total impact. Because in order for God to have the total impact, you got to be pruned.
But look.
That's a requirement.
That's good stuff, bro.
That is.
I've never seen farmer who planted crop for a harvest for that year and didn't come back to that piece of land the next year to see where it was at. I've never seen it. You have once whatever seed you have sown and whatever you grew from that.
Yep.
You have to go back to it to evaluate to see what needs to be done to this land for this
That's
soil
good.
for my next crop.
That's good.
If not, you got old
Weeds
weeds.
can be done choked out your whole harvest.
You got
That's
you
good.
got
That
fresh
maintenance.
fruit with old fruit. You got weeds. You got grass, and you still, man, take all this out and redo it. Have some fresh fruit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Take all this out and cut the grass. Why are you still got plants here from 2 years ago? But on this side, you growing something different. It's still on the same land.
Exactly.
You planting something new on soil that is not nutritioned.
Yep. That's what the old scripture talks about. You can't pour new wine in the old wineskin. Because you lose both.
You lose both. Oh, Lord, you lose.
And I said this years ago. I said to me, boy, it's like I saw a mind. It's like your mindset. You got to, because wine, in a sense, sometimes can represent wisdom. So if your mind is constantly being outdated, and then it's like you're wondering why you're losing your mind because you're not updating your mainframe. And so therefore, when information tries to come, it can't because now you don't lose your mind. So therefore, you lose your mind in the information that's trying to get there. So you lost both of it. So you can't pour new wine in the old wineskin because you're going to lose both of them. You're going to lose the wine, the value, the substance, and then the container that was meant to hold the substance. You're going to lose both of them just by not updating the mainframe.
Bro, what? This may be a crazy question, one for the ask, but which one feels better to the touch, the wine or the wineskin?
Feels better to the touch?
To the touch.
I would say the wine.
The wine? What do you say?
That's a hard decision, I guess, because obviously there's a sense of value in the skin itself.
That's what I'm saying.
For someone to put the new wine back into the old wine skin, so
like,
yeah, I would think the wine skin
the wine, right? So
to the touch.
right. So you pour it in, the wine skin holds it. Right. So when you're not updating, whatever that is
It's
meant
old.
to hold you and console you, you're gonna lose it. It's gonna pop. You know what I mean? Like, so it's certain things. There's certain people in certain areas that's meant to console you. That's meant for your comfort. That's meant to protect you. And if you're outdated, you're not gonna be able to be held by something that you need in your time when stuff is rough for you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't do certain things for yourself, when you going through it, certain people are not gonna want to be there for you because you always mishandling them.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So
1000%.
being outdated, you can fumble a lot of relationships by you not doing maintenance on yourself.
Yeah.
You can fumble relationships with your children by you not doing maintenance on yourself.
For real. You ain't lying there, bro.
Parents, because me and my mom had a little, you know what I mean, the other day. It wasn't too bad, but, and I was outside talking to my brother-in-law about something. My mom wanted me to go get my brother-in-law. So I was checking my phone at one time yet. So Pop was in the house with my mama. My mom says, "Hey, Rain, go tell your daddy to come here." I'm talking to my brother-in-law about something that's important to me, right? I'm not saying mama dismiss. I'm talking to So my son goes, Daddy, Grandma say, come here. I'm locked in. I say, hey, Pop. I say, Pop, ask her what she want. Come on, tell me. And he said, okay. He went back. I guess he said, Daddy said, what you want?
You know, Pop gonna say it in Pop fashion.
How was that message delivered?
Yeah.
You sat that boy there to get killed.
So
He just a messenger.
So excuse me. So Pop came back. He said, "Oh, Grandma said you ain't gotta go get." I said, "Okay, cool." So I'm talking to him. But I come in the house. We started talking. My mama slid up in there, and if it was back in the day, and your grandma would have said, "Come here," if we wouldn't have had. So basically, my mom basically was upset because
you didn't come when she called.
I didn't come when she called. But at the same token, that was the first time in my life I've ever chose to be an adult. Hold on. So out of custom, adults are used to when I call you come. Sometimes it don't work like that. What happens when your child, which is an adult, chooses to be an adult for a second? What happens when it don't go how you want it to go all the time, which you're accustomed to?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one huge thing. I go, my sister, I ain't like that. What happened though? If my son almost 40 years old, and he tell his son who almost 20 years old, I say, take that and come here, and he come back, Dad said, what you want? Well, tell your dad I need him to go to blah, blah, blah. I say, so it depends on, because times is different. It depends on who, but if it's out of custom, you used to.
Bruh. And see, that's why I started out the podcast with what I said about the foundation. That's why, it's exactly why I said it, because times change.
It's changed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Things
However,
evolve.
I still hold dear to the foundation of what taught me.
Right.
Because the foundation was not to be disrespectful. And you wasn't disrespectful. You just said, okay, well, hold up. Let me find out, because, this is kind of like really, 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 really important right now.
Yeah, I chose to adult.
You chose to adult, and you did it in a respectable manner. The disrespect would have been like, tell her, all right, hold up, in the connotation and in the delivery. And that's bro, that sums up the first part of what I said. That's why, because even when you're updating information as a human being, the foundation of which something is laid is very important. Bro, I'm in the store, like, bro, I can't, bro, it drives me bananas. And it's just, to each their own, because I know this is all over the world. So, I'm not coming for you. Stay out the feed, Jesus Christ. But like, I'm in the store the other day, and I can hear it's a young voice and with an older voice. So it got to be either a parent and a child, or a grandparent and a grandchild, or something to that extent. There was an adult and there was a kid, had to be. And also I remember just briefly going on out, because I'm looking up and down the aisles, I'm looking for something. So there was parents and kids in that aisle. I didn't just see pure adults in that aisle. So it was like, oh man, that's a piece of it. I'm like, and then they said it again. And the adult, they're just going back conversating like the child ain't even said nothing. I'm like, and this is where we are as a nation. The foundation that was laid by our parents and our grandparents no longer exists.
Yep.
Because the disrespect is now seen as respect from a generation that don't understand or know what respectful is. The foundation is dead. It's gone.
Or even care to know.
Don't even, bro, and it's just so prevalent. So it's like we can update, we can be cultural, and but yet still hold firm to ethics and morals and values that mean something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Big difference.
It does.
Big difference.
Huge.
I just thought I throw that in there. Cause bro, you just hit the nail right on the head. That's why I entered the conversation the way I did, because change has to happen. It's inevitable. How you manage the change is not.
No, depending on what she said, she would have.
We wouldn't even say we wouldn't even cuss in front of our parents back then. Now it's like they having a conversation. The parents just talking to them like they ain't even said nothing. It's crazy.
Or even if they see them say it, they find it funny and laugh.
You know,
but nothing funny about it.
But anyhow, this was good, man. Therapeutic. But still looking out, man. Looking for 2025 to be a great year, despite what challenges may arise. But make sure when you're going into this year, man. We're still at the beginning of the year. This is actually technically the first week of the year. But Alexander said, everybody said something that was powerful, but I want to revisit before we get up out of here. When he said something about the harvest, that the farmer doesn't plant the seed and wait for the harvest without going back to check and evaluate where they at, where the harvest is at, because you might have some maintenance, and that's true. Maintenance is always done. They have to they may have to dig up something because it didn't grow properly and replant something in its place. Pull the weeds. We unfortunately know that chemicals are being sprayed, so they may have to spray something or whatever. Whatever it is. But had not they go back and reevaluate the harvest, they might have lost it. That's what everybody doing reevaluation. In the most sense, because it's the new year. But do something this year that will change the trajectory of everything that you do and how you do by being consistent. Don't just reevaluate because it's the new year. Are you reevaluating from January to December at periods of time? It ain't got to be, I'm going to reevaluate every 3 months or every 6 months. However you feel you need to reevaluate yourself. You may feel you need to reevaluate yourself every day, every week. But the most important thing is being consistent and reevaluating yourself in the situation you involve yourself in. That's all we're saying on pretty much in a nutshell.
1,000%.
Yeah. So you gotta stay updated, man. Update the hard drive so you can go as far as you can go and bring more value to people that are in need of what you provide. So, man, it's been another live living. We thank y'all for tuning in with us on tonight, Blueprint Nation. Once again, y'all know how we like to end this joint. Shoot for the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. And if you think different and be different, you have the opportunity to live different. And once again, we'll see you on the other side of success. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.